All right, welcome in everybody to the Tuesday edition of Daily Bread, coming at you live right at 11:40 on the East Coast. It is the NFL is back week. You got through a gross Monday night football game last night. If you decided to sit through that one, we took the day off, so we hope everyone enjoyed their Labor Day. It is the best week since we got the NFL cooking. We got Alabama versus Texas on Saturday. But we won't be talking about any of that because we got the Champions League and the MLB best bets coming at you for today. All day action because we got some matches kicking off at noon, 3 o'clock, and then MLB throughout the day. And it's all powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be hopping into their DMs, especially with football right around the corner. We're going to keep saying it all week because we're hungry for week one after another successful college football slate. So we appreciate everyone tapping into Paid for Play on Saturdays. We got Sunday morning QBs live for you on Sunday. So be following that handle as well, live on the same YouTube channel. If you're watching us on Twitter, we appreciate you there. Hit the link up in the title to be with Kevin C, Chad, and the rest of the fellas and ladies dropping their best bets, everything they want to be talking about. We got the best subs out there, so make sure to give us that like, retweet, follow, and all that good stuff. Helps us get out to all the other people who aren't cashing day in, day out. But Sosa, how you doing today?
Feeling great, man. I'm just happy to be here again. We're back, another day closer to the NFL. Can't wait really for Thursday, man. I think it's like Christmas, the opening night of the football season. I think everybody's pretty excited about it.
We'll be doing our picks all throughout the week. Definitely on Thursday for the Thursday night game. I might be out close to that scenery. And then Sunday, we'll be dropping it there. Saturday, we'll be dropping plays. So be tapped in each day to the channel. Plays will be coming throughout the week, just not today.
Yes, sir. Other than that, I can't really think. Baseball.
I was about to say the only thing we need to talk about, the only thing we didn't talk about is how about that blocked extra point. Really, the only thing that's happened since we streamed last. Nothing else.
Yeah, man. Brian Kelly, rough beginning to the Brian Kelly era at LSU. Very tough start. We're in the game the whole time. Jaden Daniels did everything he could. I have obviously the hindsight is always 2020, so it's so easy to always say, "Oh man, they should have gone for two." Oh, come on, it's always easier to say that
Yep.
afterwards. In my opinion, you know, it's a home game. I know it's um, a neutral site. So, where Harry Kane's like my favorite white boy. You didn't know that? He's like he's like my Eminem to 50 Cent. I thought you knew that already. I thought y'all knew that.
That's just a salty United fan.
Oh yeah, don't worry about him. He'd be all right. You like that? Man. And yeah. Last night, obviously, Dabo got his win. DJ looked absolutely horrendous up until I guess like midway through the second quarter. Thing about Clemson, they got new coordinators across the board, so it's going to take a
The
little minute.
defense still looked solid though.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense looked great. They blocked punt. I mean, they were all over the place. So yeah, for me, I personally, I believe in this Clemson team. I think they're a playoff team. The only game that I really think that they're going to have any problems with is against Notre Dame. I mean,
I really hope they're not a playoff team at this point, seeing what the offense was, because Georgia Tech, I mean, you can't be much lower than a Power Five program than them where they are right now. I'm going to keep riding the horse that Clemson has a top five D line in the country, if not top three. There's only one that I can probably put on top, and that's definitely Georgia because they have Jalen Carter. If you're saying anything else is probably silly, but man, that quarterback spot doesn't get figured out just a tiny bit more, man. Pitt and other teams in the ACC are going to take them down again. That D line can only take them so far unless they allow less than 20 a game. But we saw they couldn't even pull out wins when their defense only allowed 18 points last season.
Again, a down year for Clemson was 10 wins. That's all I kept hearing. A down year, a down year, a down year. Listen, if 10 wins is a down year, you take that every single season. I mean, Bielema won 8 games 3 times at Arkansas, lost his fucking job. And that's in a much tougher conference, playing much tougher opponents, right? So a down year for an ACC team that's dominated the conference for the last 10 years, being 10 wins, I think people are just it's kind of like the Chiefs last year. It's like the whole idea of them being done or not on the same par as these top tier teams is kind of out of there. It's kind of out there in my opinion. They're right there.
The quarterback's big difference. That's the biggest thing that's keeping away from the top tier, in my opinion.
Dabo said he feels like he has the best quarterback room he's ever had at Clemson after the game.
I need whatever weed he's smoking. But we got the Champions League. We got the MLB. Probably be out here by noon. We got places to be. So let's start with the MLB slate, and then we'll finish it up with the Champions League.
Yes, sir. First play coming straight from the Oakland Athletics to the versus the Atlanta Braves. Games in Oakland tonight at 9:40. First play is going to be the Atlanta Braves team total over 4.5 at -122. Atlanta has been absolutely amazing the second half of the season. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Mets still. Even though the Mets have been great, Atlanta has just been better over the last 60 games. They've been outrageously good offensively. You see their bullpen kind of coming together to some extent. Obviously, the A's are an auto fade. Everybody had them at the beginning of the year to have the least number of wins in Major League Baseball. So you're just going to ride the future out here and believe that, you want Oakland to, one, end up with the least wins, and secondly, you believe in this Atlanta offense against whomever Oakland is going to throw out there. So that's my first play of the day at the Atlanta Braves team total over 4.5 at -122.
I like it. We got some weird slates out there. Them traveling to Oakland. Just Oakland's trying to wrap it up as quickly as possible. And you got a tricky spot, in my opinion, for the Phillies, who are laying a minus 200 plus price with just coming off getting swept at the Giants. The Fish, always tricky, but as long as Nola shows up and the Fish offense stay where it is, I don't think there's much value in that game because you got a total sitting at 7. So maybe they get to Luzardo. I mean, he's been hit or miss, but not much what I like there. What else do you got for us?
A warning. There are 9 games today at -200 or more money lines. Tread very carefully, especially on a travel day. That would be my biggest warning to people who are gambling the baseball slate today. Like I said, there are 9 games at -200 money lines. We are very, very familiar with how bad those games turn one way or the other. So just be very careful. My second play today is in the Seattle Mariners Chicago White Sox game. Obviously, Seattle has stayed, in that wild card spot for much of the last 2.5 months. They've been a very good baseball team, very consistent baseball team. Johnny Cueto on the hill against Logan Gilbert tonight. I really do like the Seattle Mariners first 5 run line at -104. I think that they can get to Cueto, and I believe that Gilbert can be solid for them throughout the first 5 innings. So again, my second play today, official, is the Seattle Mariners first 5 run line at -104. My favorite play for certain.
So you had not a short price. This is one of the games where it's not -200 or more, and you can actually get the Yankees on the run line at +120. I think is the current price, and it's hard not to do it. Sure, it's not the playoffs, but the Yankees just owned the Twins. It really doesn't matter at what point during the season. Came back and looked right yesterday, making that late season push. My one MLB play of the day will be the Yanks on the run line at +120 with Cole on the mound. Game might not happen, decent amount of rain, but if it does and it holds off tonight, I like Garrett Cole. Anything else for you today on this MLB slate, or what else are you eyeing up? What's fishy? You have the Rays, who are streaking right now, facing a beat-up Red Sox team. I like them again, but another large price with Rasmussen on the mound.
Yes, sir. They're hot right now. Obviously, we've talked about the Yankees and the division situation and how much they've kind of fluttered here in the back end of the season. For me, it's a no play for me. I have nothing in regards to this one. The only other game I was eyeing up is the Dodgers team total. It hasn't even been released yet because it's a late game and we're not aware of the two starting pitchers. But for me personally, I can't see the Dodgers not scoring a minimum of 5 runs against them. They don't match up well. They don't look like they're attempting to win games, and they're just not a good baseball team. I would also be very, very careful betting the Dodgers on the run line tonight. Minus 300 favorites, and they failed to cover the run line. I believe like 3 of their last 5 wins. So just a little note right there to let people know. Just be careful. It's a weird day. Pick your spots, be careful, and don't waste your money, betting on minus 250 or minus 260.
Yes, sir. Anything else you want to get into, or should we just get into the Champions League?
It's important stuff, man. That's really where the money is.
All right, where's the ticker at? We haven't used Champions League in a while. Hopefully, StreamYard didn't take it away from us yet. But make sure to be giving us that like, retweet, follow. So all that good stuff. Ran through the MLB. Don't you worry, we'll have football soon. We got more plays. Just keep dropping them in the chat for whatever you're liking. Now let's get to the Champions League action of the day. And Sosa, you said opening day, putting his feet up potentially. He's got maybe some plus money prices. No futures. Not confident in Liverpool to pull it out this year.
Not really wanting to comment on that. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If Man City doesn't win it this year, I just don't understand what it's going to take for them to win it. And this is coming from a Liverpool fan. Absolutely loaded. The only thing they were missing was a striker. They went and got the best one in the world that's under the age of 25, not named Kylian Mbappe. I just feel like if you're going to back any team on the future, it's got to be them. It has to be, right?
We'll see. I don't know. I don't usually try to do the Champions League future way too long to lock up your money with that one. Pays out in May. That's what I'm just saying. It's a long haul for this one. It might be even a little bit longer with the World Cup. It might not pay up till June. But for the early leagues, the early slate, you got 2 games on at 12:45. I'm staying away from Dortmund versus Copenhagen. Not much I really want to be betting there. The Chelsea versus Dynamo Zagreb game does entice me. Chelsea's laying a big price. I think they spank them here. I don't know if they let up a goal. So that's where you can take them 1-0. Zagreb's team total sitting at a little bit juiced here. The over 2.75 sitting right out there at even. I think this is the first time, so I'm gonna lay it. 1.5 with Chelsea at plus 126. I like that plus money price there. Yes, it is on the road. Maybe 2-0 is the way to go there. Chelsea's team total could be a different way to attack it. That's sitting 2.5 at plus 158, but we're going to lay it with Chelsea today. Next 2 matches, Sosa, I know you got to play in one, so I'll get to it. I think Juventus does get on the board today in Paris, so I'm taking their team total over 0.5. So they just got to get one for us, sitting right at even. I think Juventus, they play a little bit tough today. I think they get one on the board. But what do you like from the PSG side here?
I mentioned it already. Best strikers in the world, best players in the world. You could argue that, obviously. I like Kylian Mbappe to score today. You're getting a price at minus 115. I just like him to find a way. I mean, and in Champions League, he's been so fucking dominant. You kind of have to bet it. He's got the most Champions League goal of any player since he's been playing in Champions League. That's more than I think the only guy that comes close is Karim Benzema. And obviously, he's benefited from being in some soft groups. Let's not lie. Like PSG has had that. But for me, I honestly believe that Kylian Mbappe gets on the board today, get a price at minus 115, got to take it. That's where I'm at with it. That's the only play I have in the PSG Juventus game.
Everyone is loving the AC money line. Someone's got it tied up with Real Madrid. Cam is playing it straight. They're sitting out there at the even price. Traveling to Salzburg. Over sitting at 2.5. The only way that makes sense is if they really think Milan's going to park it and not play attacking style and not want to get into it, because Salzburg lets themselves up left and right for attacking chances for you to counter them, because they're that type of team where they want to counter you. Milan could just dominate it with the possession and just play it completely slow and fail to get into the final 2/3. I'm taking Milan's team total over 1.5 at even. So I'm targeting two of my least favorite Serie A teams in the Champions League. Serie A teams always show up well in the Champions League, you know that. So these two should not be a sweat.
Oh yeah.
Those are the three plays. Chelsea laying it with the 1.5 plus 120. Let me see. Confirm that price real quick. Hate this. Plus 126. The other two are at even team totals for Juventus and Milan.
Yes, sir. And I only have one. I have one other goal scorer. It's about as chalk as it gets. Real Madrid versus Celtic. Karim Benzema minus 110 to score a goal anytime. I think this should be like closer to 130, 140. If you're getting it minus 110, kind of have to take it. I just discussed why. The guy absolutely dominates. He is the king of the Champions League. I think that's kind of evident based on results that we've seen in his career at Real Madrid. It's just something about these situations. He thrives, whether it's a penalty, whether it's him just being in the right place, right time, like he always has been over the last 5 fucking seasons. He's bound to score today. That's all. That's the only other play I have.
Yep.
Two baseball, two Champions League. I think it's going to be a very entertaining day in sports. But we're just, like I said, we're striving towards the NFL season. That's where we're at. That's where I'm at. I got about 10 plays on Thursday's game. I got to narrow it down because the more and more you look at it, the more I like this, I like this, I like that, I like this. But real quick, I will just a quick early play, just in case for anybody watching, for 80 plus receiving yards for one Allen Robinson. It's at plus 195. I really, really, really love that bet. I love his over 62 for the game. I want to ladder it all the way up to 80. I think that's the move. Matt Stafford's best ability entering last year, or just about any year of his career, is his ability to throw to the outside. Calvin Johnson, Kenny Galladay. I mean, do I need to name any more? They didn't have that until about week 10 with OBJ, and we really saw OBJ's impact on that offense. I think that Allen Robinson, being in his athletic prime, he didn't get hurt last year. He just got phased out of an offense by a bad team that didn't want to pay him his fucking money. I think he comes out here motivated, and the same type of numbers we were seeing OBJ put up with Matt Stafford as his quarterback, I firmly believe that to be the case. Also, the number one reason why Matt Stafford led the league in interceptions last year is because he continuously tried to force the ball down the middle of the field, which was never his strength. It's never been his strength. Everybody got hurt. He just kept forcing a bunch of stuff over the middle. Never been his game. You give him an X on the outside, you're going to see Allen Robinson absolutely thrive with him as his quarterback. So those are, just some early looks that I love. Just got the update. Kayvon Thibodeau expected to be limited in practice today, so he's on his way back.
Let's go. Good news.
Glad to see him back. I mean, when he got hurt, it looked much worse than it really was. It looked really bad, but thankfully he's not going to miss any time. Zach Wilson also returning for the Jets. I think obviously it's in their best interest to have him as the starter. I know people are talking about Joe Flacco like he could hold it down, but at the end of the day, you really want to see where your team's at with the future of the organization. You don't have time for him to be sitting out games. So that's yes. And that's where I'm
That's your quick thoughts on the NFL.
Yes, sir.
On Tuesday. How hungry? We're right around the corner. We'll be coming back at you live tomorrow at some point. More Champions League, more MLB. The last one without NFL. So roll it back if you want our MLB plays. I dropped 1. Sosa dropped 2. Then we got into the Champions League where I dropped 3. He dropped 2. So we got 8 plays between us, 4 each. We appreciate everyone tapping in. Like, retweet, follow, sub, and we out until tomorrow.
Peace.